Hello, dear friends. I'm back with another episode of Bala and Bala Perspectives on Education. Let me introduce both of them to you. One always has questions on the tip of his fingers, and the other one always has all the answers for all the questions. He is Quizmaster Pig Brain. His name Giri Bala Subramaniam. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
And he is, of course, Mr. G. Balasubramanian, the former Director Academics of CBSE. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So today's topic of discussion is financial literacy. So I think as a community, we have not necessarily nurtured a lot of financial literacy, especially in our children. Um, Even if that has happened, it has happened through parents. When your parents take you to the bank with you, they get you to go through entire process on your own. That is when we have learned financial literacy. So today's topic is financial literacy critical in the school curriculum? The first question that I pose to the two of you is, why should the students go through financial literacy at an age where they are very, very far away from even earning a living? So,
Well, today we are talking about futuristic schools and we are talking about preparing children for life, we're preparing children for career. So, if you think of all those things, undercurrent of all these things is essentially financial literacy. If you do not understand the basics of financial literacy, you will be able, rather struggling in life later. For example, after going through the course of study, a boy goes to the engineering college, he wants to become an entrepreneur without any financial literacy skills. He will be only at the starting point, he won't be able to move anywhere. Apart from that, financial literacy is a life skill basically. Even if you do not need it as a profession, but even to manage your home, even to manage the assets that you have been inherited by your parents, you need financial literacy. And we are in a very, what do you call, complex world today with so many rules and regulations, laws that govern the way that you distribute money, you acquire money, you invest money or store money. I think the understanding of financial literacy, management of finances at your disposal is very important. More than that, that also gives you that how prudently you handle your money, because it's not spending the money, how prudently you handle the money is important. And therefore, I think preparing this kind of an intellectual approach to finance management has to be done right from the school level. So I think that is the calling of the day.
all right. What do you have to say to that?
I think it's absolutely critical to have financial literacy starting with schools. See, the world we live in today, because of great amount of advances in healthcare, etc., life expectancy across the world has increased. Today, on an average, you're going to live between 75 to 90 years. Now, on an average, if you break that in a very simple arithmetic, you're likely to spend about 30 years of your lifetime studying. May not be 0 to 30, but with intervals, executive education. You're likely to earn money for 30 years, and that money has to take you through for another 30 years, which is going to be the most expensive phase of your life, which is post retirement. So, if you do not know how to manage the money that you earn, because you're technically going to earn for 30 years and live with that money for 60 years, assuming you are taken care for the other 30 by your parents or whatever, it is imperative that we teach our children this. On the converse, if you look at the number of subjects that we teach our children, most of them empowers the children to have a great career till the age of 60. And we don't teach financial literacy, which is required till the day you go to your grave. These days, even after you go to your grave, because you have to pay for your funeral before you are gone. That is the modern world you are in today. So it's important. It's absolutely important.
All right. So what does NEP stand on this?
See, NEP does not have a dictum on this, but NEP recommends this. It's one of the recommendatory areas of NEP. It is not like, for example, NEP has clearly stated on an aspect like knowledge of India. on an aspect like vocational education, career awareness. There is not much stated on what you should do with financial literacy, but I think that should not stop us as a nation or as educational institutions from introducing it. So it's not a NEP requirement, but financial literacy for school children is a United Nations requirement. So globally, there is a great need to improve financial literacy and awareness of financial instruments, etc., starting with school.
So, what would you like to add to that?
I think he is absolutely right that when it comes to finances, I look at it on three important dimensions. One, finances as a as a security for your life. Second, finances for your what do you call your investments, that you are able to reproduce the money. If the money doesn't grow and it's lies static, it is as a dead capital. I think many people do not understand that the money grows, and that idea of investing the money should come. The third aspect is that prudent use of money, as I used the point of time. It is not only security and this one. How do you invest your money? Because money has two purposes. It serves both the individual as well as it serves the society. When you save, you take care of your individual needs part of it. When you invest, you are taking care of the social security aspects of it. So not only the money allows you to grow, it allows the community to grow, the industry to grow, and the nation to grow. I think the contribution of the individual to the growth of the nation through the financial inputs are also necessary. So you have to look at the financial literacy aspect not as a process by which you empower the children to earn money. It's a very insignificant part of the financial literacy. But more than that, after you get money, how do you handle it? That is what more important. I think, therefore, for a country oriented towards growth, uh, the financial literacy is an essential learning subject, and it has to be the undercurrent of every single subject. The reason being, financial literacy is also linked to the productivity of any system, and therefore you have to look at that the fact that you are teaching children how to be productive using the financial literacy. Look at it at a broader level. That's fine.
So, by introducing financial literacy in school, are we running the risk of creating a generation that is materialistic and money minded?
Well, that's a very important question. Many people have this doubt why children, they become greedy, they become, highly focused on money, money, money. I think what's important is to bring home the difference between money and wealth. You know, money is one aspect of wealth, and we use this money for health, for knowledge, right? And for for relationships, for entertainment. So a number of things operate through money, right? Therefore, money is an instrument for generating, managing wealth. So, through the idea of financial literacy, we need to educate the children on wealth consciousness. And a nation has got to be wealthy. Yeah, so even when you talk about the budget of a nation, the GNP of a nation, it is not only the money power that it has, but it's kind of human resource power they have, the health security that they have, and the kind of thought architecture that people have to engage in futuristic things. So I don't think that financial literacy needs would lead to materialism. But all that is important is that the subject by itself will not lead to materialism, but the way we handle the subject and inappropriate focus to the subject might lead to materialism. Therefore, that caution has to got to be exercised. Otherwise, I think it is a gateway to wealth generation and wealth consciousness.
What's your view on that?
I don't think educating people in the right way about finances, financial literacy, wealth creation, uh, leads to any form of, a capitalistic mindset or anything of that kind. I don't think so. On the contrary, it can actually contribute, like you said, where is NEP on finances? NEP is extremely clear and strongly advocates entrepreneurship. Financial literacy is a twin brother or a twin sister of entrepreneurship. Today, if this nation has to change, it can't change if India is going to be at India at 150. India can't be running with 10 power business houses like Tata, Birla, etc., and believing that that will take us to the next 75 years. You need more entrepreneurs. And we have an entrepreneurial mindset which is being seeded into the schools. But no entrepreneur will be successful if they do not have financial literacy and a knowledge of how to manage their money. I think the pandemic has also taught people that money needs to make money. Many people lost their jobs. Many people, and we are in a vulnerable, unpredictable world where these things are going to occur at periodic moments in your life. So you need two incomes. One is what you go and work for, and one is through what you invest in. So it's very, very important for you to get your money to be working for you.
At what age do you think financial literacy needs to begin?
Well, as a child, financial literacy started for me with an age old concept which unfortunately has faded. Uh, I'm guilty that I haven't necessarily introduced it for my own children. Was this beautiful piggy bank that we used to
Piggy
have.
bank.
It was such a beautiful concept of putting coins in whatever was left over from your, bus ticket or whatever it is would go in. And I was told that I could break the piggy before my birthday and buy what I want. It gave me a sense of empowerment. And slowly I started realizing that whatever goes into the piggy is my money. So I started inventing ways to sort of feed my piggy. But what it actually taught me is to save that money and not spend that money. So it was a concept of saving. Yes, Bala sir took it to the next level and said we should teach children to invest. But I have known people, and we've done some huge quizzes in financial literacy. I know children today in our country, in class 10, class 11, who own stocks. In their name, they've invested in the stock market. I know youngsters in schools who have mutual funds. Can we institutionalize that? So I think it's very, very important for us to really take this forward and take this forward aggressively.
So, what do you think? What age is appropriate for financial literacy?
Well, I think right from class 3 onwards, if it's not that you introduce them to an idea of a demat account, not at all. I'm not looking at it. But as you rightly talked about the piggy bank there, I remembered that in Kendriya Vidyalayas we used to have Sanchayika, a scheme of savings of money that was right from class 3 or 4. It was being done over there. So the idea of not only saving the money, alongside the saving the money is the idea of waste management comes through. So now that you have got money, you can spend. So the idea of thrift comes into, the idea of unproductive use of money comes into. So don't look at financial literacy as a process by which children learn what is that. It is both a knowledge and a practice which becomes a second habit in life, and that supports your well-being, intellectual well-being, emotional well-being, and social well-being. And therefore, I consider financial literacy as integral to life skills taught in the schools from class 3.
So, is financial literacy only for students?
Well, financial literacy is to every learner. If you would call the learner that whether in the school or outside the school, whether a teacher as a learner, businessman as a learner, entrepreneur as a learner, every learner has got to be sensitive to financial literacy. As a matter of fact, I had not known what a mutual fund means or a demat account means till I retired, because I was a pure academician. But when I came into the practical world and I saw, oh my God, I have missed my 60 years of being that. It matters. But probably the time when I was a student, the story was a little different. But today we are in a globalized world where the economy is no more conservative. The economies of all countries are more fluid at this point of time. So you must know how to chase the economy. I'm not saying chase the money. I say chase the economy. Chasing the economy means chasing the well-being, chasing the idea of a nation. All these things flow through that, and therefore I think you need to start it right from the class 3 onwards, and then it becomes an essential life skill.
What do you think? Is financial literacy only for students?
I I've passionately spoken about this. I think I don't mean to pick bones here, but one of the communities which is poor on financial understanding and financial management is actually our teacher community. There is a level of innocence in their investments. They do not think of these things and they think they don't understand it, so they stay away from it. That is wrong. It is not something that is beyond anybody. And the profession inherently is built for actually systematic investments because there is a fair amount of predictability, there is a fair amount of stability, there is a fair amount of growth, all of which is built into that profession. There is a long tenure that people have, etc., when it comes to the educational field. So I think it's very, very important for teachers to take investing very, very seriously for their own lives and for their own future. So I would advocate that strongly, not just for students, but for teachers as well. It's very, very important that we get our teachers also to be financially literate, to invest in their own future. Very important in a modern world situation.
All right. Thank you both so much for joining this discussion here today. Well, my dear teachers, thank you for joining and watching this entire episode of Bala and Bala. And like we have established, financial literacy is for all of us. Not just being financially literate, but using the information that we have learned into being financially independent is also very important. Join us in the next episode of Bala and Bala Perspectives on Education. I promise you we will come back with many more interesting topics. You stay tuned.
With your permission, can I add something for our teachers?
Sure.
Teachers, don't be scared of finance, don't be scared of economics. In fact, I'm wearing the Quizmaster's hat. The root word of the word economy comes from a word economy. Economy actually means managing the household. That is the root word of economy. All of us have done that in a remarkable manner when it comes to managing our household. You understand economics inherently. Just put it to practice and be financially literate. That's my prayer for all the teachers.
See you in the next episode.